Okay, so I'm really excited to show this. I actually removed a lot of that timing stuff because it's not needed because we have the target, so it doesn't need to be told to move um, every half a second or whatever. It'll just move until it gets to its goal. Now, I want to show this because this is a perfect example of how AI can help you. Now, it didn't help me code. It didn't teach me anything new. It essentially reminded me of something that I totally forgot, but I knew it. And here, I'm going to show you. So, what we have is placed in the world and spawned. He moves, he doesn't. They have the same exact logic. Shouldn't be like that. I think we need to bring this down. Yeah. So, why is it doing that? Oh, well, maybe not. Okay. Oh, jeez. That's not really that big a deal. Anyways, so why is this one working and this one's not, and they have the same exact logic? Well, it actually is really simple, and I've known this before, but everyone's human. They forget. AI didn't help me code. It didn't teach me anything new. It reminded me that when you auto possess something, you have to set auto possess to place in the world or spawned. Very simple, very simplistic. No help with coding. Just a gentle reminder to remind me that that's just a simple setting. So he takes off, he doesn't. Easiest fix in the world. And there's some people like to use a hammer and nail instead of a nail gun. So they they take forever to do something as simple as go auto possess instead of place in the world or spawn. So that is one very simple and easy thing that AI can do for you. It can remind you of something you've long known. And guess what? Now it works. So to all the people talking crazy about the AI stuff, you know, if that's your prerogative, if you want to waste time, you go ahead and waste time. But it took no time at all. It didn't give me any coding advice. I just simply gave it two pictures. I have a spawner and a character. It all works fine, but the character spawned does not move, but when placed in the world, it does. The goal is instance editable and exposed. I'm setting it in the spawner as a target goal. I've done this so many times. Can you think of why the spawned NPC isn't behaving the same as the place actors? All this, all this, all this. Once I started reading it, when it says state tree and behavior tree, I was like, well, which the answer was right here. I just don't like to read a whole book for something so simplistic. So once I saw state and behavior tree, I just narrowed it down and said there is no state or behavior tree. This is a simple AI move to, then a target that we use the eyedropper in the viewport to choose. Hopefully that narrowed it down. Perfect. That narrowed it down beautifully. Since you're using AI move to with a manually assigned goal via the eyedropper, it works for placed actors but not for spawned ones. So simple. So I just wanted to definitely add this into the video so you know all the crazy people who don't want to use AI for no reason at all and want to spend hours on end playing around with this. And on top of that, you can't Google this because if you Google it, guess what you're using? AI. When you ask Google a question, that is AI. So you would literally have to play around with all kinds of stuff, or you'd have to remember every set, every every um every little thing. You can't forget anything. Auto possess is not correctly set. That narrowed it down perfectly. And once I read this, I was like, oh yeah, duh. So that is one powerful thing. No coding help. No no nothing. Just a reminder of a simple setting. Yeah. So now that our spawner works, we can stop this. We can move him out here. And let's just test it one more time. Works perfectly. Beam. We can actually delete this right now. Now, so our spawner works, but we want it to spawn randomly. We want it to continuously spawn. So one of my favorite things to do, let's make a timer. Timer by event. And that's a custom event. Spawn villager. And let's say every 1 second, when we loop it, it's just going to keep running this. Well, I mean, everyone knows what looping means. All right. Ta-da. Simple spawner. Every 1 second. That's what I'm telling you. I'd have been sitting here all day. Wouldn't have made it for the. I wouldn't have made it because I would have been trying to rack my brain. And I mean, of course, I'm gonna make it because I would have Googled or asked an AI. But you can't even use Google because Google, you asking Google a question is AI. I don't think a lot of these people making these silly arguments are really understanding that. But anyways, something took 5 minutes. Now we got it done. Every second. Now we don't want it every second. We want it random. So we are going to go in here. We're going to do a random integer in range. And we're going to say mm, 0.1. Well, that's not okay. That's definitely not possible. Okay, we're going to have to do a random float. We're going to do 0.1, a tenth of a second to 3 seconds. And now ta-da. Now let's see how it works. Still looks like 1 second apiece. Hmm? No, I don't want you to do that at all. So we definitely don't want it to be that fast. Let's tighten that a little bit up. Villager's done. Now that we have this on, don't really need to mess with that too much for the time being. So let's say 0.5. It doesn't seem to be picking a random float in range. And that doesn't make any sense. That's probably why that didn't work. That's why that doesn't work, because the minimum's higher than the max. Okay. Genius. Is it picking a random integer just once? Okay, it's picking random ones, but they're not spread out enough. Let's say, let's say 5. 4 seconds. I think this is what I was trying to do earlier. Oh, cool. Didn't know we could do that. So I want there to be, because it's just picking it too close. It's just picking things way too close. It's not giving it much of a random look to it. Like, what are we having? 1.17 in half a second. I could randomize this. So what I'm going to do, I could use an array and a map, but that's just, I'm not trying to do all that. What we can do though, is this random bool is gonna pick true or false. This is what we're gonna do. This random bool is gonna pick true or false. Damn. Let's move this out the way. If it picks true, we're going to set the timer to this. And that's going to be between 0.5 and 2. I think we're going to do 0.5 and 1.5. And if it picks false, which it'll be random, so it's not going to be like I'm controlling it or anything, we are going to pick 2 and 3. Maybe we should do, yeah, 2 and 3, 0.5 and 1.5. Maybe it doesn't really matter. At this point, it's just playing around with numbers. Okay. And that is going to set when we spawn. So this will make it a little bit more random. Make it look a little bit better. Okay, there we go. So if it's true, which is just a random bull, it's going to pick it for itself, whatever, whatever. And I guess we could probably constantly, we can make a whole function that'll do this. But I want to see. Let's see what you're saying. And let's see what you're saying. So we can get a good idea. Oh, shiz. Shiz. No, I don't understand what's going on with the mouse. What in the world? Okay. So we have two, and we could just keep doing this, and we could do like 0.5 to 1. Wonder if we can add extra. I don't know. Either way, let's just check it out. 2.6. Okay, it's a little bit more random. I can see it. But I want it a little bit not so tight. So let's say 0.25. Say 1.25. And then why is this not? I should be printing both of these off. False, yeah. Should always be printing off the time that it's giving. In whichever event, whatever timer it gets. Yeah, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. That looks right. And we are going to do. I want it to be a little bit further apart. So wait, 2.6. Still do not like it. yeah, it's only doing that once. No wonder you can't see it. You gotta put it on the tick. Well, not the timer. Let's go back to this. Now, every time it'll give me that time. Might not need to put it at 100. It just seems so tight. Like, why is this? I don't think that's really working the way I expected. Because if this timer goes off point 0.1 and this goes off, I don't know, 2.5, I think that's why it's doing that. Okay. I might take a break and try to think this one through. I've done a spawner before, but I've never tried to make randomize the time that they spawn. Not quite like this. Uh, yeah, we do it. We don't. That's another thing we could do. I might actually. Nope. Hmm. Let's just hold off on this for a second. Begin play. Print. Just so surprised that it's like it's not really. Hmm. It just seems to be picking numbers that are like really close, and that's kind of frustrating. Point two. I think it's picking different numbers up here, but the first number that it gets, it just keeps doing it because it doesn't look like it's really. I'm gonna sit and think about how to. I think I know how to do it. Oh, what if I did this? let's say every half a second. Let's leave this start delay variance actually might be exactly what we're looking for. See, what I think is happening is it's setting the timer by event, and this is firing, so it already received the first time it receives that random, it just keeps that. It's not. I don't think it's pulling any information. It might be getting a different. I don't think it's receiving that. Let's try this. Say point. I wish I could get. Cancel instructor. Okay. Mm, Well, let's give it a try. Then I'll just sit and think about it for a second. Have some coffee. Yeah, not really doing much. Yep. Oops. Okay. We're gonna set this to point one. Just had a idea. And you know what? Why don't we just delay it? And every time this hits, we will add a random floating range. I think that'll probably work pretty darn good. Okay. Now, we're going to say we're already delaying point one. So let's say another point one. So that means the minimum is point two to let's see how this works. There we go. See there, that's what I'm looking for right there. See that? You see that? You see that? That is what we are talking about. Very nice little random popping in and out. That's perfect. More or less. We can always tighten it up, but we have the basically we have the initial setup. We have the initial setup. All we gotta do is play with numbers. All we gotta do is play with the numbers now. I think it might be better if we just make this minimum 0. 1 point. And 2 point. I like 2. Let's leave it at 2. So we have 1.1 to 2. It'll pick it randomly. Whatever it picks, it can't spawn this until this has been fulfilled. So yeah, that looks pretty damn good. That looks good right there. Look at that. Might have at least 2 seconds before anyone comes through. Now, another thing that's not really that important. So we have our spawner that works. We are basically just going to copy this. We are going to copy the same exact thing. And instead of spawning the villager, we're going to spawn the monster. And of course, because the AI's help, we know that when we do this, he's not going anywhere. In fact, he's not even spawning. Oh, okay, there it is. Just took 2 seconds. And why is that not moving? Simple. Because they have to auto possess placed in the world or spawned. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, so we're gonna be spawning the monsters and they're gonna be doing all that. No points when they get to the end. That looks fantastic, man. That looks great. Okay, let's put this back to villager. Villager. Okay, wow. Nice, simple way to fix that. Sometimes you just need to, you know, not overcomplicate it because I mean, I was overcomplicating with all that bull stuff. Very overcomplicated. Okay. So our spawner works. Also on begin play. We want to do another thing before we do that. And that is, oh, we don't want to do it in here. Okay. I want to do it in our villager. Because that's where our character movement is. On the AI move to. We want to do this before we do the AI move to. And that is set max walk speed. And this is a float, but I don't really want to float. I want it to be an integer. Random integer in range. Let's look up what the max walk speed is. It's very high. I know that I set it max. Yep, I set it to 1,000. So we're gonna say 1,000 to 100. And this is going to be a problem, I know, because what's going to happen is some are going to be moving faster behind each other than in front, and it's just going to be chaos. I already see that one coming. Uh, but that's cool. We might make it so that their collision ignores them. I might even make a whole different trace, make them pass through each other. Why not? It's just so much simpler to do that. Okay. I already know what the problem's gonna be, but I like to test. Yep. But that's perfect, right? Some people are walking faster, some people are walking slower. I don't know. I might leave it like that. Nah, because when you have one of these guys, when you have one of these people driving all slow, moving all slow, effing everybody up. It would be cool if I made it so they could pass each other, but we are not going to worry about that right now. Mm, we are not going to worry about that right now. We need to make the villagers have some fun. So this is a pawn. Obviously, so is the other guy. Okay, we're gonna make a special trace. And this trace, let's think. Hmm. You know, it'd be cool if when they collided with each other, they made each other speed up or something. Let me take a minute to think how I want to do this. We can make it so that they pass through each other. Definitely don't have time to make it where they walk around each other, even though they have the room to. We can make it so there's a trait where there's a line trace and they jump over each other. That would be the coolest if they just jumped over each other. Let me think how I want to do this. That's a wall jump. We should there, yeah. Duplicate. just for testing purposes. Yeah, let's maybe give it a little time so it's not doing it too early. Might be this might be a waste of time. It might not be this important to do, but I don't like the pass through each other thing. Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay. Now, yeah, I like that a lot. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. So now we want it to jump when we have a line traced to itself. So but it needs to always be checking. So let's just don't. It's okay. We can use the event tick. Okay, we're gonna get our actor's location, and then we're going to get forward. We're gonna get the forward vector, not the rotation. Forward vector, vector, and that's the wrong one again. Vector, get actor, vector. Okay, and this just basically increases the x, and that would be multiply by let's just say 100 for now. And we're going to add that to this. That's where we're going to end. Perfect. Okay. That is perfect. So we're going to break this. That looks way better than them like just passing through each other. I do not want this to persist. Just for duration. Well, nah, let's just leave it to persist. And if this equals Now we can definitely cast. It won't bother anything because you know it only is gonna if you have three of the same. So it's a hard reference. If you cast to BP um, villager, we already have a villager in the level. In fact, this basically does nothing more than it doesn't do anything because we already have it's casting to itself. So if it's in the level, it's already a hard reference. So we're not even gonna try and outthink that. It's totally fine. If it's true, if this is him, we wanna jump. This is gonna be fun. And it's not working. Mm, let's see why it's not working. Why is this not true? Let's take a second. Slow this down. You always want to pressure. Pressure. So, wait a minute. What's an easier way to do this? Okay. But I do want to see what it's hitting. There's a way easier way to do this. I keep forgetting about the tag. Tell me what you're hitting, baby. BP2 gold. You're not hitting anything? Yeah, I guess it's not hitting anything. Just pretty odd. Yeah, they're not hitting anything. First things first. We just want to happen once so we can see what one of them's doing. Okay. Now that trace is very weird. What in the world? Oh, you're doing it on the event tick. Duh. My bad. It's a stupid mistake. Think I need a break. Good. Feel like I'm messing up this offset. I don't understand why it's not. Let's go back to 25. And let's just say persist. That's why it's not working, because it's just doing it over and over again. Hmm. Okay, there's a better way to do this then, because it's only doing it on begin play. We want the trace always to be looking out. So we want something that's always looking out, but it's not always firing like an event tick. So let's do this a little bit differently. Give it all this. Put our begin play back up here. What we are going to do is we are going to add another collision. So I don't want to mess with the capsule. We are going to add another capsule collision. We're going to call this the jump capsule. We're going to rotate it in the Y by 90. And we are going to scale it in the Z by 1.5. Let's make that 2. Give them room to jump. All right. So this will fire only when it hits, and I believe this should work. Let's do our logic. So jump capsule. We'll begin hit overlap. Let me bring this up here. And if the other after, well, no, not component hit. Jump capsule. Again, overlap. So on the we're just gonna print string and say jump. Not equal to self. If that's true, and I'm pretty sure that because they're all in here, this doesn't matter, but I actually am going to ask AI just for optimization purposes. I'm pretty sure. And you know what? A better idea. Actor has tag. So we don't even have to worry about that. Ta-da. I love that. I love the tags, man. They really come in handy. So now we don't have to worry about anything of that nature. We can just go here and tag villager. See? And if it's, let's put this down here a little bit. And let's put another branch on it. Branch. If it's true they have a tag, then jump. If not, do nothing. Now, to test this, let's just pull a villager out here, someone they can run into, simulate. Perfect. So this might not work perfectly, but I think it'll be kind of funny. What's gonna happen is sometimes they're gonna jump, and if they're not if they don't jump far enough, they're gonna land right behind them, and they're just gonna keep jumping. But I think that'd be kind of fun. I do have fun making my games. Okay, where's my jump? Jump. There we go. If this is true, jump over, buddy. So now we are just gonna and that's a problem. Okay. They're both in and up. They're both jumping. Okay, that's not gonna be that hard to fix. Basically, we're gonna say it has to be in front of them. It has to have a positive, or you know what? That's actually pretty easy to fix. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this back to 1.5. And so that no one jumps because someone's behind them, which it's gonna actually make them jump once they jump over them. That's cool. Now, now he will only jump. Only he'll jump, and hopefully he'll jump far enough. All right, let's see it now. Bloop. There we go. Do you see that? Yeah. But we don't want him to run into him when he's jumping. So we're gonna move this back. Oh, we could just move this a little bit further out. So they'll jump quicker. That's all it's kind of like not that important, but whatever. Also, I think I want to bring this down so when the person jumps over them, they'll give them time to, because the further this is up, he's gonna have a trajectory of this. So maybe that'll give him more time. Hopefully. But this is pretty good, you know? See, he's walking way too slow. There's an easy way to fix that, but I am definitely not gonna worry about that right now. I can actually, what I could do is in this, I could say this actor with the tag, we can get the other actor that overlapped. We can set a condition saying they can't jump. We can say can jump and but we're not gonna worry about that. That's not very important. It looks good the way it is now. It looks way better than them walking through each other like a ghost. It would be cool if we had it to where sometimes they jumped and sometimes they went around each other. But yeah, we are not going to do all that. Should have probably did this before making that monster, the Paragon monster, because I'm just gonna have to copy and paste this all over. But all good, all good. Okay, so now let's test it fully, more or less fully. Like the head, here you go. That's perfect. That is perfect. That's gonna make it a lot harder too, because you're gonna have to hold the rock up, and if they touch the rock, I don't think I'm gonna make you like lose too many points because of that. Because that, look at that. Okay, we're gonna have to make it so they can't just like keep jumping, because they're just gonna keep. Yeah, I want to see how this works in the game. Come on, get the oh shit! Go 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 go! Uh, and the rock is floating away. Oh, and that's game over. This is gonna be pretty tight. This is gonna be pretty tight. I like this. All right, I'm gonna take a break and I don't know, just chill for a little bit. I probably shouldn't. I'll be right back because I gotta get this done. How much time do we have left? Oh, 21 hours. Okay. Even still, we got a lot to do. But that I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. Looks fantastic. Pretty fun. The rock going all over the damn place. I don't think that'll be too hard to fix. Get it up. Get it. Oh shit. So that's not too hard. Come on. No, 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 no. Uh, oh shit. Mm. Okay, that's good. An easy fix would be, like I said, we can say if this is true, when you jump, it's not gonna be as easy as I thought. Let me think about. It's not really. I don't really care too much that they're jumping all crazy. One thing we can do. One thing we can do to make it not so ridiculous. The easiest way would say. I think the easiest way would be to compare if it's in front of you or not. Uh, get world location. Now I want to put this on the event tick. Actually, I don't really care about that. I just care about what's in front of it. X is your forward and backward, Y is your left and right, Z is your up and down. We don't care about anything except what's in front behind because it is a side scroller. I guess up and down too. We can also compare if they're on the ground. They can only jump if they're on the ground. We got a few options. They only want to jump if they're in front of us, and we want to jump if they're on the ground because we don't want them jumping like triple jumping. So those are the conditions we're going to use. So didn't want to do that. Just need one. So if it's going up, we only want to jump if this actor's X location is greater. Yep. Get world location. All right. Get location. Oh, well, okay. Split struck. And if this actor's X location is greater than, that means it's in front, which means this you can jump. Okay. Greater than. If it's greater than, well, we need to get actor location. Get actor location. Split struck. Split struck. So if this actor's X is greater than ours, that means it's in front of us, which means that's another condition we want for it to jump. If you're behind us, don't jump. Solid. It's pretty solid. Event tick. We also want to see if they're on the ground, so they can't double jump. This will really calm it down. Okay. And the easy way to see this is get actor location again. Split this. X is forward and backwards, Y is left and right, Z is up and down. So and shrink. We want to know what is the Z location right here? The world Z location. Almost there. So when they're on the ground, they're at. So let's just say if it's less than 1300, all right? That would be that'd be the easiest. We could make it tighter, but I mean, come on now. Yeah, that's pretty tight. Yeah, that's pretty tight. So, next condition, if the Z is less than 1300. Very nice. Very nice. Very elegant. I don't like all this stuff mixed up. So we're just gonna. Just to clean this up. It's just bothering me. And if R actors Z is less than. Okay. Okay. First condition has to have that tag. I honestly don't know if that really matters which one comes first. I don't think so. And our last but not least, just to make this look neater because it doesn't have all this extra stuff on it. Okay. True. There we go. All our conditions have to be met. Otherwise, you do not jump because y'all are going off. Y'all are going off like the jump man. All right. Now, let's see it loop. Oh, I'm excited. This is gonna be nice. And if this works, I am gonna take a break after that. I know I said I was earlier, but I get into it and just can't stop. Yeah, look at that. They're only gonna jump if they're. Oh, look, that is so perfect. He didn't make it. That's okay. If they don't make it, that doesn't. That means you weren't moving fast enough. That's fun. That is fun. That is fantastic. You. I have no idea why some of them were turning around, but I don't care. It looks good. Look at him. He's like, I'm finna get out of here. Oh, that's fantastic. I like that. This has been a fun. I was nervous about this because it's only like 48 hours. Took me 2 or 3 hours to figure out an idea. Um, and but even if you don't finish, it's worth trying. Why are they not scoring though? I know why. They're being deleted before they can add up the points, I believe. See, that's the foreseen issues. Those are those unforeseen issues. We need our goal. If I'm correct, I believe it's just destroying the actor before it can give out the points. I'm not really sure. I could be wrong. We're getting actor of class. Oh yeah, that's why. Because we're getting actor of class instead of all actors of class. So yeah, when they go out of order, it's not choosing correct actor. Okay. Oh, see, I just keep on forgetting that. We are not going to do that. I can't stand doing loops. So, what we're going to do is we are going to see if the actor has tag, like we just need to constantly do. It's just so much easier than trying to figure all that loop body and stuff out. Now, if the actor has tag, other actor, if the actor has tag, yeah, and that should do it. Nice and simple. And I love gameplay tags. It makes it so easy. Now, oh, well, we definitely need to give it the tag. Okay. Let's just make sure that's correct. I know it is, but I like to copy and paste it to make sure. Yep, yep, yep. Now, every single one that crosses. Come on, guys. Hit the stage. And jump over. Jump. Yep. One, two, three. Tags make it so much easier, I swear. Damn, he took the hell off. That is absolutely perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Still coming. So, so I am gonna take a break. I want to actually think through how we're gonna have the monsters. See, when they cluster up, the monster's gonna eat them alive, and I don't want each monster to like. I want it to take away a point every time a monster catches a villager. But if they get clustered up like that, it's gonna kill people's points. So I'm gonna take a break. This has been like an hour and 21 minutes. But great progress. I'm gonna look at it one more time because I just love it. Actually, I'm gonna play it. Okay, hit this. Down to get that rock in the air. We definitely need to do something about the rock going off the screen. So I think what we're gonna do, that's actually pretty easy. I know I said I'm gonna take a break, and I will eventually. So let's get our side scroller character. Event tick. Okay. And we actually want to get, let's look up viewport. So we want to get it's Y. It's Y. Yeah. Okay, and we just want to print this off to see what we need it to be. So when we play this, that's where it's settling. Actually, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set the X and Y every time we float it. So it can't move. There might be a good way to do it. There might be a better way to do it too. Actually, you probably could just do it on this. This way, it'll move around, but it won't. So again, that's going to be our initial Y. We're going to call it LOC underscore for location. We're going to duplicate that for our X. That's going to be that. So now we have an initial X and Y. Cool, cool. All right. And every time we can put it on this impulse, but then it's going to jump back. No matter where it is, it's going to jump back every 10th of a second, which might not be bad. But I want to try doing it on the impulse every time we do this first. So, what are we going to do? We're going to Set actor location. That's incorrect. We're not setting it for the actor. F2. Okay. Get world. Get world location. I'm gonna split that. That's gonna be our X, and that's gonna be our Y. Okay. Uh, cool, cool. Now every time we hit it, we want to the boulder. We want to set world location. We want to set the world location every time we move it. If this doesn't work, we'll put it on this timer that's going to do it every 0.1 second. So either way, it's going to work. So now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to mess with the Z because it needs to go up and down. So we're going to get location, get world location. Split that open. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. But our X is going to be, oh, shiz. And our X is going to be this. And that should basically set that boulder from moving too far and flopping all over the screen and stuff and going out of visibility. So we have our X with our X, our Y with our Y, our X with our X, and our Y with our Y. And let's move this right here just to clean this up a little bit. Now let's shift. Every time we hit the U, yep, see how it's going back to, I like that. Whoa, shit. Definitely gonna take a break now. It's pretty good. See how it flopped over, but we get that, it'll bring it back over here. I wish it did that. I wish it kind of alert that. It didn't. I would, well, not alert, but I wish it didn't like teleport it there. What a sweet me. I'm not. That's see. I gotta learn to prioritize. So I'm gonna take a break, and I guess next we'll work on the monster. So my thinking for the monster is, huh, my thinking for the monster is they're gonna have, they're just gonna spawn less. They're gonna have a bigger delay, and they're gonna be a little bit slower. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that'll have to work for now. I have to work for now. I don't have like all day. As long as we can have a decent playable game that has the scoring and all that, I think it's good for 48 hours. And then, I might come back and tighten it up, make it so they go both directions. If I make it go both directions, though, I'm gonna actually have to change some of this logic with the villagers because if they're going, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Well, I guess that means they'll jump over the ones going from the left to the right will jump over um the ones going from right to left and the ones that are going right won't really jump at all. But it's an idea. Yeah, steadily working. Go chill for a little bit. I don't know. It's really cold. Yeah.